Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Russian Tier 9 light tank, the T54 LightWeight. Now the T54 LightWeight is a very old Tier 9 light tank because it was originally the Tier 8 light tank. It was originally the pinnacle of the Tier 8 Russian light tanks. It was the highest you could get before they introduced the Tier 9 and 10 light tanks. And this tank got moved up to Tier 9 when they brought in the T100 LT. And yeah, it's always been a really good light tank. It's really quick. It's actually got armour, which is a thing. It's actually got decent turret armour, so you can ricochet shots here and there. You can bounce shots. You're not an auto pen for the big derp guns at times, as long as you don't give them your rear or side. It's quite heavy as well, which means sometimes you can ram a lot of light tanks for a lot of damage. On the whole, it's an absolutely solid light tank. It's got good view range and great camo as well. It's a good active scouter. It's a good active tank, generally. That's the whole role of the T54 LightWeight. You play it more actively, and you can spot out. But with the good camo as well, you can get yourselves into great positions to flank and spank and get shots out and stay camoed up as well, which is also wonderful. So yeah, the T54 LightWeight actually got a buff a wee while ago in the tank's reforged Blitzkrieg. It got its main gun reload buff from 7.2 to 6.6, which is mad because the reload is already mad quick. It got a buff on its stock gun as well, and its terrain resistance has got buffed on its stock tracks. But that DPM buff that it got on this top gun is utterly incredible. The tank was already really good, right? And they just made it even better. It was basically just a back in the day, it was a T54, but it was quicker, and it basically didn't have as good a gun handling, but obviously had the camo and, well, the mobility. These days, the gun handling is, well, it's fantastic because, you know, 6.0 is a thing. Adding your crew skills and stuff like that, your gun handling's fantastic. So, in terms of a crew on the T54 LightWeight, I actually run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Run and Gun, Steady Aim, Track Mechanic, Camouflage Expertise, and Muffled Shot. Now that's pretty generic light tank crew because, well, Camouflage Expertise and Muffled Shot are great for a light tank because obviously you make your camo better, and then as well as that, you also make your camo better after firing, which can be useful when you're in bushes and stuff and you're like pulling through a bush to spot and then pulling back behind it to fire through it to max out your concealment. And then just making the gun handling better as well, generally using using steady aim, sorry, and then run and gun. Because, like I say, this tank is a very active tank. It was already very, very good at shooting on the move. It had good soft stats on its dispersion. So, which sort of leads you on into the T100 LT, which is also very good at it. So using run and gun will make it even better at it. And some of the shots you can pull off with this tank is just dirty. It's the same as the T100 LT. It's sometimes you can fully aim a lot of shots and they just won't hit. And you sit there going, how did you miss that? But then the shots that you take on the move just seem to fly in and you go, oh, I have no idea how that hit. Okay, take it. In terms of equipment, I actually run Armour, camo and optics as well. Optics because you are a light tank, you want to be spotting as much as you possibly can and getting assistance, that juicy assistance, which is why I run the optics. Camo net to make sure that, again, my camo is as dirty as possible because you're a light tank, you want that. And then rammer to make this great reload even better. To be honest, if you really wanted to, because the reload is dirty, I mean, you see at the minute we've got, what, a 4.7 reload with food boost. If you feel like you could live with a 5.5, 5.6, 5.7 reload, something around that region, I'm not sure, with the rammer, drop the rammer, run something like vents to make everything generally better, or run vert stabs to make the gun handling even better, or run traction system to have incredible track traverse and, you know, even better mobility. The choice is yours. You can do what you want with it. Again, it's fit it to your play style. I just like having the camo on my light tank so that I can be aggressive and get to aggressive bush locations to spot, but I can also have the flexibility to go and run around and, you know, be a lunatic like you can be in this T54 LightWeight. So in this first game on Sunset Coast, we're at 2k damage and 539 assistance so far. We've managed to flank round and get behind these guys, so we get a shot into the CDA. We get incredibly lucky that that Death Star missed us there. I think the Death Star actually snapped the shot at us because he didn't expect. He was looking the other way and didn't expect us to pop up. And I was kind of counting on that. So when he snapped, he must have just RBRT'd and missed. Because if he'd aimed there, he would have killed us in one shot. That would have happened. Now, 5 degrees of gun depression is letting us down a little bit there because it's just a little bit awkward to use on that spot, and I had to over-peak to get shots. And unfortunately, we've bled a lot of hit points. So with those guys looking at me and having no one else to distract with me, I decided, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to ignore those guys and go after artillery. Fortunately enough, I know he just fired at the ridgeline trying to shotgun me. I know I've got the opportunity to kill him and I'll be fine. And we shut down the M53-55, which is always a good time to kill the piggy, right? Killing the piggy is the greatest thing in the world, and once you kill the piggy, you get the bacon. And who doesn't love bacon, okay? Bacon. Anyway, we're going to try now and flank round behind those tank destroyers. Those tank destroyers that were shooting at us earlier on, we're going to get behind those guys and use our great mobility to flank round and get behind them. Hopefully we're going to catch out the AG-88 that was up here somewhere, and there we go, finally spot him. So we're going to just go abuse this guy. He's a turretless tank destroyer, he's the AG-88. I do have the hit points to take a shot from this guy. So when we get round him, you can see we purposefully aim for the drive wheel to try and track him in place. We get the shot into his lower plate. Unfortunately, I didn't see the AMX CDA get spotted or turn around to shoot at us. That was a boo-boo moment because I was like, oh god, actually, I completely forgot about that guy and I didn't spot him. I thought he'd moved off and was distracted with the other guy. But fortunately, he YOLO'd us down and got into my territory, which is where the T54 LightWeight was always going to wreck him. And that is using the mobility and the track traverse to get round. So we look round the corner and we have the back end of this YAG-88. This is the wet dream, the light tank paradise, where you get the turretless TD and you just get up behind them and you can farm. And we finish the game with 5k damage, the victory, the top of the team, 3 kills, 4.9k damage, 732 assistance, ace tanker, Confederate medal, 1786 base XP. A nice game for the T54 LightWeight. Say, a solid tier 9 light tank, it can be great fun to play. It's just like a T54, but faster. And if you like faster and better camo, T54 LightWeight is going to be for you. And you can run around like a lunatic, have fun. I mean, the Russian light tank line is great in itself, to be honest. Or should I say it's fairly solid, because the T100LT at tier 10 is fantastic light tank. The tier 9, like I say, the T54 LightWeight that you're seeing here is a pretty damn nice light tank. The LTTB is one that I don't personally like, but it is a pretty good light tank. The LTG at tier 7 is okay. It's not the best in the world. The MT25 at tier 6 is just a blast. It's so much fun to play with the 57mm. You just machine gun people. And the T50 at tier 5 is hella fun. It's just so much fun to, again, machine gun people at that tier. And you've got great mobility. And you can just pull off so many fun moments with that tier 5. I have a lot of fun moments with the T50. So we're in the second replay. And in the second replay, we have got vineyards. And on vineyards, I'm just going to run around like a lunatic, be a light tank and spot. My aim was to get to these bushes over here in front of us, where this rock is, so that I can push into the rock, get safe, and then hopefully get unspotted at some point. And then pull into the bushes to try and spot anyone that's camping on their little camp hill at D8. But we unfortunately get spotted by, I think, the LHMTV as he was running around like a lunatic. And, yeah, that's not good. But nothing's actually getting spotted pushing along the A-line. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to go. We get a nice shot on the move into the T49, sorry. That's 8. On the move, this tank is very, very good at firing, which is why I don't run the vert stabs, because you're seeing how good it is at firing without the vert stabs. I mean, if you're going to take an extra piece of equipment, you're probably more thinking traction system just to get up to, I think it's 66 kilometers an hour, which is rapid. So we're trying to get shots into this T49 because while he's not guaranteed to pen us with that derp gun, because we actually have frontal armour, if he hits us in the side or rear with the derp gun, that T49 is going to hurt us. And look at this T49. I'm looking at him going, this guy looks like he's coming in. But actually, he's running away, which is good. First glance, oh, what a shot on the move. At first glance, I thought he was going to come YOLO me and dirt me, and then he started to run the opposite way. But because I shot him there, he actually does come in. Unfortunately enough, he ends up missing us with his derp gun, and he doesn't manage to pen us, which is great, which means we keep most of our hit points. So we end up spotting the T30. When I was unspotted there, I probably shouldn't have fired at him. It's a bit of a mistake there because he could have easily blapped me, and we got lucky that he missed. I was unspotted, and I spotted the T30. I should have just waited to get to a safer position before I fired. Therefore, I didn't run the risk of getting blapped for 750, which, again, would not have been great. So now I'm deciding, okay, a lot of my team is over here. We're going to go help them out and get up behind the medium and these two TDs. Because we can get up behind them, we can distract them, turn them around, possibly get shots into the rear, finish them off. Unfortunately, just as we come over on the T30, we fire at him and he dies. Then we ricochet off the back end of the Demolisher. Thanks, RNG. That was really kind of you. How those shots bounce sometimes. You just sit there going... You had the whole ass and you hit the upper deck where it was the only place you could probably ricochet. Thanks, RNG. Thank you. So we get a nice shot into the T30 there that's camping on their ridge. And we have a lot of people. Like I said, we have the 2 tank destroyers in the platoon, which is Swindler and Randy, I think. And we have 2 heavy tanks coming down the 0 line. So this is our opportunity to get assistance. We're up to 2.7k damage and 1500 assistance. The rest of their team must be on this hill. There's 4 tanks left. So if we spot them up, they're going to get absolutely blapped by our team, hopefully. And then they'll feed us some juicy, juicy assistance. So we spot the T28. He finally gets hit for a little bit, but doesn't get hit for enough. And I decide, you know what? I'm going to YOLO up on top of this ridgeline and see if I can spot anyone else and hopefully get some, again, more assistance. So we spot the T28. And I haven't realised right now, going for the shot on that guy. It's like, oh... Hello, Mr. STG. I didn't notice you there. We've spotted the 2 heavy tanks behind us as well, which is great because people are going to start shooting them, and that's assistance. This STG, I'm actually going to bait myself out. I'm like, please, STG, YOLO me. He does. We try and track him, and we actually track and pen him, which is great, which is not what we were aiming for. We were just aiming to track him in place and stop him so he couldn't shoot us. And he gets shut down. We're up to 5.5k assistance. There's 1 tank left. We spot up the KV4. We can't hit him on the move, but... There we go. The gun line does its work, and we end up with a ton of assistance. If you know you've got people shooting, and you know, especially when you've got a gun line, it don't even have to be platoons. You can get a lot of assistance in light tanks like the T54 LightWeight. Let's finish with the Ace Tanker, the Patrol Duty, the Confederate Medal, 1900 base XP, 3.2k damage, and 7k assistance. 10k combined. A really nice game for the Russian Tier 9 light tank, the T54 LightWeight. It's a great, great Tier 9 light tank. So, as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!